I was asked fairly recently by a guy who said, I'm thinking of joining the exchange. I fancy giving it a go. He said, I want to start in a small van. He said, but the thing is, he's probably an Uncle Albert. He said, I'm knocking on a little bit. Actually, I don't know if he said that or not. He said, but I'm more concerned about the amount of handball that might be involved. And I think he was kind of frightened that in a small van, he would get loaded like with a pallet of wood or steel, and then he'd get to the other end and the customer would turn around and go, yeah, if you could just unload it into the back garden. So what kind of work can you expect for a small van on a Courier Exchange? Now, most small van work, or a large amount of small van work, is going to be very, very little. So you'll be talking, you could be one box or two boxes. It could be an envelope. It could be some car parts. So it might be like 6 or 7 heavy-ish boxes that might have to go to 2 or 3 different dealerships. That's kind of a typical small van job. You could find yourself in a position where they do put a pallet on board. Now, bearing in mind a small van, I would say a small van has got about a cubic metre in the back. So theoretically, you can put a pallet on there. But chances are, if they are going to put a pallet on there and they are going to fork it on, they are going to fork it off. It's not going to be a problem. So even though you're riding in a small van, you do want your straps and stuff like that. Which begs the question, if it's an envelope or a couple of boxes, why put it in a van? Why not just put it in an Uber? Why not put it in a car? Well, a lot of the time that one will come down to insurance. And it'll be the fact is like, well, we need to get these boxes, we need to get them moved, but if we get them in a taxi and something happens or they get damaged, there's no insurance. There's no goods in transit. There's no public liability if the guy takes it off and drops a box on someone's foot and it could come back and it could bite us. So most small van work is easy work. A lot of small van drivers are people that have done the big work like me, they've done the truck work and they've just had enough and they're retired or they want to keep their hand in and they decide that they're just going to do it for a bit of pocket money. That's not all of it. A lot of small van drivers also, they might be young and keen and they might be like, well, okay, well, I'm taking these 3 boxes from London to Newcastle and then I'm going to take another 3 boxes from Newcastle down to Wales and then another 3 boxes from Wales back to London again. Take me a couple of days, I'll keep it in the van or something like that, but I can get good money out of it. But when it comes down to it, and not a lot of it's heavy. And the other thing you can do is when you bid the job and the guy rings you up and he kind of goes, or the lady rings you up and she says, I'd like to book you for that job. So just to double check, what is it? And you can put in your notes on the CX, don't do handball, don't do this. You know, you can say within limits. And you go, I'll be honest with you. And you be polite, you don't have to turn around and go, I'm not doing that. You can turn around and go, in the nicest possible way, that job's not for me. I'm ever so sorry, but I don't want to, I will always say, I wouldn't want to put myself in a position where I might let you down. So if you get that on board and I get to the other side and I can't get it off and it all kicks off, you're probably better off booking the next guy or the next person. And they will turn around and they will say, thank you for your honesty, I appreciate it. And then you go and you do the next one. And the next one says it's an envelope and you go, an envelope, I can handle that, fine. And then they send you in the centre of London. But that's small van jobs. Small van work on the exchange. It pays. It's one of those. The rates aren't as high as the bigger vehicles, but then the X's aren't as high as the bigger vehicles. My mate Lee runs in a small van all the time. He's a professional, does a good job. He's happy. So it could be the one for you. And if you do decide to jump on the exchange in a small van, I hope you take care and take money.